Ladies and gentlemen, I will read you a tweet. I don't have Twitter. I don't have Facebook. I have this channel and my two other channels. However, I will read you a tweet from James O'Keefe. Really, really interesting. He's going to release videos, insider testimony, like he usually does, on exculpatory evidence hidden from Trump and Trump's legal team. James O'Keefe. The real question is, how many do we have on the inside? Stay tuned. And this is responding to a tweet from Ryan Cunningham. New York DA likely hid exculpatory evidence from the grand jury, the Trump grand jury, as their meetings have been postponed. The real question is, has James O'Keefe got to someone on the inside? Is the house of cards going to fall? And then O'Keefe states, the real question is, how many do we have inside? Stay tuned. Not long ago, Rudy Giuliani was America's mayor. Okay, it took 20 years from a Republican Rudy Giuliani, mayor of New York, if you can believe that in this political climate, to the New York that we have now. I love New York. I love New York. Beautiful people. New York and New Jersey have beautiful people, awesome history, culture, everything. But it has become an extension, at least the New York, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office has become an extension, essentially, of the Democratic Party. They're going after Trump because they despise him. It has nothing to do with the rule of law. You don't have to like Trump. You don't have to like Trump's personality. You just can't use the federal government or state government or the district attorney, the DA, the Manhattan DA, to go after a political rival. You can't do that. Okay? And if you have information, like, for example, that Michael Cohen lied, that Stormy Daniels might have lied, or that they're linked to a Hillary Clinton super PAC, which is what Politico and the Daily Mail reported on. And I talked about that lately. I think I'm the only person in all of YouTube reading articles from Politico and the Daily Mail and other publications from 2018. Look, all you have to do to get a little glimpse of, there are 2 or 3 articles. Vice, Hadi Avenatti brings his show to the DNC summer meeting. Okay, this was a Vice article. Okay. Michael Avenatti, attorney, potential presidential candidate, and strong jawline person, dropped in on the Democratic Party's summer meeting as he continued teasing a 2020 run. Hadi Avenatti. Okay, he's in prison now, but he was very involved with the Democratic National Committee, and he was Stormy's lawyer. Then you have Avenatti is winning here. Avenatti is winning the 2020 Democratic primary. This is Politico. Okay? Michael Avenatti is winning the 2020 Democratic primary. Okay, so he's setting the terms of the debate. The man he's becoming influential, but people around him, by the way, according to these articles, were linked to Clinton. Okay? There were specific public relations executives, political advisors, longtime Clinton allies within these Politico and Daily Mail articles. Okay? Now, hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. Probably the most important thing I offer people, which is why we have over 203,000 subs, and it's because of you. We're almost at 204. You could be the 204,000 sub. We're that close. But hit subscribe. I read articles. You read articles. Like, people don't read articles from like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It was only 2018 that he was going to become a Democratic. Stormy Daniels' lawyer was going to become a Democratic, was going to run as a Democrat for president. Okay? And now the Democrats in New York are going after Trump. Do you think maybe there's a link? and you have a Hillary Clinton super PAC that was directly helping, not inadvertently. The super PAC was helping Avenatti. So you have to ask if there's a conflict of interest. If you have a Hillary Clinton super PAC helping the lawyer for Stormy Daniels, there's obviously a conflict of interest in New York. Now, when New York Democrats go after Trump, the statute of limitations have run out. The FEC didn't view it to be a crime. They're trying to get Trump on business on how he claimed the funding through his business. However, Michael Cohen stated in a letter, a 2016 letter, 2018 letter. Wait, what letter? Michael Cohen stated that he didn't. 2018 letter, New York Post shows Michael Cohen lying to feds about Stormy Daniels' payment. Used his own personal funds to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to Stormy. Then he says neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Stormy, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly. Cohen's lawyer wrote on February 8th, 2018. They have no case. Trump would defeat them in a court of law if they tried to indict him on some kind of criminal case. But you have to ask, does James O'Keefe have insiders there? Probably. The reason I bring up Giuliani 20 years ago is there has to be somebody in New York still in city government, or at least a prosecutor that was alive 20 years ago, maybe working 20 years ago, that saw what happened to the city in September of 2001. And so that was a different world. Now we have a completely different political climate. And Giuliani was actually America's mayor. Like, really America's mayor. They say Andrew Cuomo was America's governor, but that's like, no. You can't equate. Democrats always try to look, and this is just like Pearl Harbor, this is just like September. No, it's not. It's not. They're so desperate to try to extract like unity and like the feeling that Americans had during these tragedies, and just to get people to go along with their apoplectic policies and views on things. It's not the case, though. You could say, well, the environment is just like Pearl Harbor. It's like, no, it's not. It's not. You can't know. It's totally different in a million different ways. But anyway, that's what they try to do. But here, I'm speaking in roundabout terms, but you have this letter. Was this letter given to the grand jury? We don't know. Probably not. Probably not. And you look, ladies and gentlemen, and here we have, the real question is, how many do we have inside James O'Keefe? So, James O'Keefe is doing exactly what the New York Times and the Washington Post should do. Okay? The reality is, you have major publications that used to be like very prestigious saying the same things all the time about Democrats, and they're saying the same things all the time about Trump. What we learned from James O'Keefe is the truth. What we learned from Assange, who should be free, is the truth. The truth is a national security issue because Democrats have turned their potential criminal activity or cheating Bernie Sanders into national security issues. So the embarrassing reality, the truth behind how corrupt the Democratic Party is now suddenly morphed into, oh my God, another country wants you to know how bad Democrats are, thus forcing you to vote for Trump. But James O'Keefe is going to release, on behalf of Trump or helping Trump, very likely some insider, telling the truth, saying or explaining that, their exculpatory evidence in the form of a letter, a 2018 letter, was not given to the jury. If you have Michael Cohen as your prime witness, your star witness, you're not going to win any case. He's a convicted felon. He was, according to the New York Post, he was $22 million in debt, and he got a better deal with prison than he would have had he not turned on Trump. So he has every reason to lie. I think that but Cohen was suing BuzzFeed before he then did a complete 180 and said, "Oh, okay, you know what? I'll play ball." He had taxi medallions that went under, or that plummeted in value, and so and then Stormy is a witness. It's like, well, okay, but then Stormy denied it too. I think that she did have the romantic relationship with Trump that one night, but again, and I think that Cohen paid for the purpose of a confidentiality agreement. But it wasn't a campaign finance violation because it was a personal expenditure. It wasn't, oh my God, people will find out and not vote for Trump. Nobody cared at that point. It probably would have added votes. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. According to James O'Keefe, he's going to release a video. Thank you.